Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Pixels for Peace, raising money and benefiting Save the Children. So I hope you're excited. We got a nice run coming up here by by Dragon. Going to be playing Ristar. It's actually the world record holder. So excited for this run with 27 minutes and 37 seconds. So Dragon, excited to see what you can do here. And yeah, so definitely show the runners some love with a follow. You can see the links in the chat. And if you want to donate to our cause, definitely do that. There's some great incentives. There's some great polls, too, if you can get in on that action. So looking forward to that. And Dragon, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. So yes, this is Ristar, Ristar, however you want to pronounce it. I know that's been a topic of much discussion that I'm sure you all are sick of. Now, I think I did hard reset the console. Yeah, so unfortunately I was doing some IL practice earlier, and the level selection doesn't disappear unless I actually turn the console off. Anyway, we'll get started here, right on cue, in 3, 2, 1, go. Right, so, Ristar. This game for the Sega Genesis came out in the very, very late stages of the console, so it kind of got largely forgotten about. The main trait, though, is his arms. Like, he can grab a lot of things, and he kills basically by grabbing onto the enemies. I shouldn't actually say kill. He's more or less just knocking orbits out of their possession. Alright. So that wasn't too great of a swing, but those poles there, you actually can gain a lot of speed through them. You can see Ristar can't actually walk that fast, so you kind of need those actual star poles to go much faster. After about 7 rotations, you'll enter what is called the star mode, and you will fly for quite a while and ricochet off any sort of wall or ground that you bounce into. This is also a very momentum-based game, as you saw with me running it down that slope. Added a whole bunch of speed momentum. Very, very nice swing there. Almost got on top of the tree. That is ideal. Actually gonna... Okay. So I don't have any health left, and I am probably gonna die. We're gonna actually kill these guys. I'm just paying attention to the guy in the background there. Actually gonna kill you, and yeah, that's kind of the trademark of Ristar right there. Each world, there's like 6 worlds in total, and they have 2 levels and then a subsequent boss fight. This is the first boss, and there is a quick kill associated with him, which I will focus for just a little bit. Okay, looks like we got it. So yeah, the actual target of the boss is actually what was clinging onto this guy's back. And just 3 hits to the, I guess we'll call him a monkey, will knock him right off into the background there, and yeah, that's the first world. So with Flora out of the way, we now move on to Undertow, which is the underwater world. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, we gotta deal with underwater swimming. Well, we actually swim underwater faster than we walk. So it's actually a really fun aspect of the game itself. It's one of the very things that made me interested in picking up this game, actually. And it makes sense, too, because, you know, Ristar's known for having strong arms and hands. So it makes sense that he would be able to swim really, really fast. Now, coming up here is a pretty important section for me to do properly. Get past the jellyfish there. And that was pretty cleanly done. And now we got this scripted part here. There is a little bit of luck. Actually, about the luck side of things, this game is known for having a lot of bad luck associated with it. And you'll find that throughout the run. This is probably the first... Well, I mean, bad luck here doesn't really cost much of any time. But you'll get a good taste of of what bad luck can do to you in this run over the, a little bit later in the run. So that was an okay spawn. It's not the best. What isn't good is me missing that enemy. So Undertow 1's not like super technical or anything, but this level in Undertow 2 is quite the opposite. Very easy to screw it up. You really got to have the swimming mechanics down to do this level properly. And there are some pretty tricky grabs here. Alright, got that. Yeah, you see these blue portals kind of littered through. You get rid of them. They spawn more ads or more enemies. And these mollusks are especially a big pain in the ass. You have to get 3 hits on them, and every time you land a hit, he'll spawn more of those spike ball things, and you don't want to get hit by those. Alright, good grab on the ladder. Nice hit on that guy. Really clean section there. Hit here. Alright, good. Still got that portal. That's pretty important. But yeah, the mollusks here, it is pretty easy to get hit by them. Okay, I won the 50-50. If you have a random chance of whether that chest there that I hit has an enemy or a star in it. You want the star, obviously, because that allows you to get to the next section. And I have more than enough health to deal with this guy. Intentionally taking a damage boost, and that was a very good stage. And that's Undertow 2. So, speaking of really, really bad RNG luck, here is Osad, probably the worst offender for luck there is in the game. He will do 4 different patterns, and 2 of them are bad, 2 of them are good. Ideally, we do not want to see him banging his head against the wall like that. But, of course, the first 2 patterns are set. We actually got a very good pattern. We got the School of Fish, which means he's going to do the charge attack afterwards, and then subsequently he's going to wander off the screen and get hit again. There are all sorts of different things he can do, like if he decides to just swim off the screen and get grabbed by you, he'll then follow it up with the rock pattern, which you saw. But the thing we really didn't want to see was him spinning around in the background, because what that means is he's going to throw jellyfish. And you can't grab him when he does that attack. And it's awful, because 2 attacks later, he will follow it by throwing out 2 fish spawns. It's a horrible, horrible fight for the luck side of things. We got the best possible pattern out of that, so we were given the luck of the gods this time. But yeah, out of the underwater level and into the fire level. This is about the point in the run now where we start to see some very, very technical levels and very, very easy to screw up tricks. And usually it involves a lot of use of the star pools, and you're going to see a good example of what I'm talking about in the next level. I obviously messed up that... I obviously messed up the star pool swing there in this level. That's the only one I have to deal with, though. And it doesn't really set me back too much. Otherwise, though, the only thing left to this level is this little memory game here. This is another random part of the game, but the variances to the luck and time losses are pretty minimal. As you can see, you have to hit them all in the order they appear. Also, the sound effect is great. It's literally a guy saying, hit it! So that was a really good pattern there. Alright, so the final one. This is a pretty wretched pattern here. Alright, still got it though. Usually the bigger risk is forgetting the pattern. And now we come to Scorch 2. This is where I'm going to be quiet. Ah, I messed it up. Okay. That was not a great swing, but we'll take it. Alright, made it up by getting the hardest one. That is the hardest one to get in the game properly. Oh man, didn't get much out of that one, but it got us far enough to the end of the level. Still a pretty good stage overall, you know, aside from 2 botched swings. That is easily the most technical stage when it comes to the star pool swings. For me, personally, it's probably the hardest stage in the game as well. It is debatable. Some other runners debate that, though. But we'll get more into that in a little bit here. First, we got this guy here, and like Osut, he's kind of luck. As you can see, he can either hang in the air, and that loses you automatically 2 seconds over the other pattern, which is him literally falling back down onto the ground. Another thing you might notice too is that I'm actually intentionally taking hits to things, and as it turns out, when you end a boss fight with not the maximum level of health, you actually cut out a part of Ristar's victory animation, which is the double backflip. And you'll see me take advantage of that in a number of areas. Obviously, in the first fight, I couldn't take advantage of it because in order to do the quick kill, I needed to have perfect health. Like, it's just one of those fights where it's faster to do it perfectly. And the next boss is actually faster at maximum health as well, but I'll go more into that when I get to that point. But for the most part, you do want to take health to cut down on the animations and get out of the world as fast as possible. Now, Sonata, the world of Sonata. This is the obligatory music world. And this is also what... Actually, I mentioned during that last boss fight about the hardest levels in the game. This is the one that tends to be most other runners' hardest level in the game, and it's easy to see why. The core idea of this level is to take these metronomes that I'm carrying to these birds so they can stop blocking the way to advance through the level. However, there are some key global cycles that we need to actually get, and the key one that we needed to get to was the one during the second metronome part. We got past it already, and sorry I didn't highlight that properly, but the reason why this is the hardest level in the game is this trick right here. Missed it. Got a second try, though. That's more than fine. So, the thing with that trick, like, doing that part of the section properly is like a 30-second detour. So getting that trick is a huge time save. Okay, we didn't get the 4 hits. That's fine, though. Can still one-cycle this mini-boss. It's probably a major thing to point out that I'm playing on the Japanese version. These music notes above the bird heads, they are not present in the American version. So you're kind of left to guess which head is gonna plow themselves down. So it's not it's it's another level of luck added to the American version. It's why most of the top runs play on the Japanese version. Nice. But yeah, ideally you do not want to get the one cycle. I also got good luck from these guitars and was able to grab him. That's very big. So now I'm able to do all these risky strats where I can miss an extra cycle of bouncing on these drums and willingly risk myself there. You notice I actually did not take any damage there to the spikes. When Ristar actually grabs an enemy, you actually gain a few iframes even when you're standing on an actual hazard. And that's pretty important sometimes, especially in this level when you don't have the health to work with. It's a nice sort of exploit to take advantage of, but actually, I don't even know if I would call it an exploit. It was an intended mechanic to have those iframes after grabbing like a wall or an enemy of sorts. But that's kind of how the game works. Alright, so this boss sucks too. We're hoping Awa does not fly directly up where I can't reach her. Yes, it is a her. Apparently, that was what I was informed. But you have to, after 2 grabs, she will go for the perch, and you have to knock her off the perch. And we don't want her going up because of the fact that she has a feather attack. Let's see if she does it here. Yep. And this is why Awik is a jerk. Yep. So, pretty hard to actually dodge. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, that was a pretty bad outing. I wanted to end this fight with full health. The reason why is because Ristar's animation actually starts earlier if you have full life on that particular fight. It happens while the curtain's drawing closed or something like that. But we got out of there. That was a messy fight, but we got out of there. Alright, so I mentioned about how I run on the Japanese version and about the music notes on the birds' heads. That's the major difference between the 2 versions, but there are a few other key differences that come in the later portion of the game. The first 2 are actually in this world, and one of them is an extra cutscene that's actually in the American version. It isn't in the Japanese version. And the time spent loading that cutscene, it is a skippable cutscene, but there's time spent to load the cutscene. And that's actually a 2-second time save in favor of the Japanese version as well. Now, this mini-boss is very difficult. I got him. Yeah, so there is a certain trick where you can do a fast snowball throw there. It's a pretty tight window. It's like 3 frames or something. But if you want to actually land an actual hit on the boss, or the mini-boss there, you have to wait for him to make his trademark sound effect. And that's when you know when to throw the snowball at him. It's a nice sound cue. It's pretty clever, I think. But yeah, ice level, ice world. Oh man, ice physics, right? Well, thankfully the ice physics are not really too detrimental in most cases, because the ice actually makes you lose control of Ristar. Just gonna get rid of all the hazards. Want to make sure I have the health to work with, because dying in this level is very costly, and especially during this part here coming up. Let's take this easy. That enemy is going to respawn once I get high enough, so I do not want to fall down. It's very hard to avoid him if I do fall down. Okay, and this is why the ice physics can be a little bit problematic You can see that I grabbed the wall and actually reversed my movement there. So you have to actually move your thumb along the D-pad a certain type of way in order to get the right amount of speed momentum to make those jumps while cutting down the time and not having to hit the corner like I did a couple times there. Now, speaking of the other big change that is in the Japanese version, we got this boss here. He's a cat in the Japanese version. I'm not sure why they had to change it. I guess it was some sort of joke that American audiences wouldn't have figured out. But you are trying to throw spicy hot food into the cat's mouth, and that has to be done a few times. So one more ought to do it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think, believe in the American version, it's like some melting snowman or something. I can't really recall exactly what the American version's actually is supposed to be, but it's a cat in the Japanese version. Okay, so we're done with Freon, the ice world, and now we move on to the last world, which is, well, technically the last world that we can do, and that's Automaton. We've had some precision star pole swings, we've had some interesting quick kills, we've had a lot of luck. Now we're going to see the only glitch in the entire game, and it is in this level. This is a pretty precise pixel that we need to grab onto, and it cuts off a decent portion of the level, about 20 seconds worth. But this is the part where good runs go to die, so cross your fingers. Alright. And then there you go. That's the glitch. And it takes us... There's the normal ways, right down there where the spikes were. That's a pole that you can grab onto. But that was the normal way that you saw me jump over that series of spikes. Alright. So, that was actually a relatively good amount of attempts on that, so I'm glad I didn't get stuck there for too long. Alright, so this mini-boss here, he has 4 different phases, and he will cycle through them every time in the same order, but what he starts with is always random. And this is pretty important because whichever one he starts with first, that's the one he's going to do twice. And we didn't get the best possible luck. You ideally want the circle pattern for him to start with, because it's the fastest. But the cross is still fine. But yeah, that boss has a number of things he can do, and to explain them all would take too much time. But if I did struggle with it, you were gonna see why it would have been real bad if I missed any of those. Alright, so... Oh god, get rid of them. So, Automaton 2. Automaton 2 is just a series of trials. And with the goal being to get either to the portal or activate the portal. Either or. There are also some pull swings here, not quite as precise, mind you. But health is a pretty important resource to keep. Nice. Very, very nice swing there. I'm gonna grab that health for safety. We probably don't need it, but just for safety. So, this guy, you need to grab him when he begins moving forward. He does some other attack that you really do not want him to do. And this was the critical room I was most concerned about. We got it. Allows us to get right up to the portal that easy, but it's a pretty tight window. Now, bless RNG. Alright, that's pretty good. We'll take it. Best luck is getting it on the first one. It can be in any one of those 4 shutter things that you saw me pull down there. Very nice pull swing. Alright, now we have some time to breathe here. This section here, you actually can go too fast and actually take a hit here. And hopefully that does not happen. Actually saw me intentionally delay there because I knew I was going to go too fast there and actually take a hit to that missile. Boy. Okay, good. Yeah, so here you just want to avoid them all. Grab the crystal. Funny thing is, you can stand... As long as you stand on the ground, you'll always accurately throw that crystal. As long as you're facing the direction of it. So that's pretty important. Got up there. Perfect. Alright, pretty critical swing here. Let's see if we get it. Oops. I was not expecting to grab that there. I was trying to reposition. Didn't expect the grab. It's fine, though. That's the end of the level. Alright, so we've had, I mean, a lot of the boss fights are pretty luck dependent. This guy's actually not. But to do him right, you have to play it pretty perfectly. Time your grabs just right. Now we're going to take intentional hits and then try to bait out this Hadouken attack. Very nice. Looks like we're going to have a perfect fight here. I'm going to take another hit, use the iframes, finish the job. He doesn't even get to do the Hadouken. Let's go. That was about as good a fight as I can hope for out of him. Yeah, see, there's a bit of manipulation that goes on with him, but you also do need to get him to drop down at the right spot in order to do that properly. Nice. Nice. We got the hard part, and then of course, I missed the star pool to get out of the level. Whatever. So we're done with Automaton, and we're pretty much at the very end stretch of the run now. There's just one final little section here, and then subsequently 2 boss fights. The first boss fight, you'll probably hear me do some counting strats. This is pretty important for me, because I want to try to avoid a certain attack happening on a certain phase. And that is this fight coming up right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or actually no, I think that was 6. Okay, I think I might be in a bit of trouble here. I'm just gonna roll with it. Oh, okay, I didn't prevent it. So I wanted that boomerang to not get thrown on red phase. Because now what's gonna happen is he's gonna throw out the big gun on this last phase, and that does delay him dying. It's a pretty strange fight, but the time saves are... I mean, they're not too costly. Actually, they were pretty costly here. Yikes. Bit of a messy fight, and I didn't finish with full... I finished with full health, so you saw me do the double backflip, and that delayed it. Anyway, last fight of the game. This is a very difficult fight, and there's a bit of luck involved here, too. See what he's got in store this time. Alright, looks like it's a standard pattern. This is good. Now he's gonna summon ads. You do not want him to summon those ads, because if he gets those ads off, it's gonna be a bad situation for you. Oh god. There. It's just a little too slow there. And time. 28-12. Really, really good run. Yeah, so he can summon orblets around him, and if he does that, he will become... You can't grab him if that happens. And he will start flinging them just directly at you. Like they'll hone in on your position. Thankfully, if you grab the orblets, that like you can get rid of the orblets, and they do drop health, but it's very, very, very bad situation if that happens, because you do stand to still potentially die with the other orblets walking around the ground like that. It gave me a generous pattern though, so that was good. One other thing about that fight is you can also do what I call the Phantom Grab. If you know Smash Melee, you know about the Phantom hits, right? In this game, it has exactly that with that last fight. You can grab him and then it won't register. And it's amazing when that happens, and more often than not, you get screwed. But that last phase, he also does a black hole. That's a huge time loss too. You cannot afford to mess up at many points of that fight. So, thankfully we didn't, and we had a clean run. Thank you for the GGs, everyone. Trying to remember what's up next. I don't have the schedule on me.
I can help out with that as the host here. Yeah, we have Batman. The video game coming up next. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nielsen Alex is going to be playing that for us coming up next. But yeah, thanks so much, Dragon. That was great to watch, and it was a fantastic run. I think even if that was a leaderboard, that was like 4th place overall, so quite a good job on that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a very luck-dependent run too, so getting a time that good is really, really good. I do want to take this time to shout out to the other 2 runners that are pretty much my equal in terms of skill, Chubbas and Harem Scarum. They've both been working so hard to try and push the time down along with me. So, I mean, I know the host has told y'all to follow me, but give them a follow as well, because they too are pursuing for a better time in this game. And with that, good luck to it was Nelson, right?
That's right.
Nelson.
Yeah.
Good luck to Nelson, and look forward to Batman. It's a really good run. I've seen some top runners do that game, and it's a very tough game. Very tough game. All right. With that being said, thank you very much for having me, and yeah, support the cause. Support Save the Children.
Yeah, definitely well said. And I'll throw in you guys are, if you can donate, that'd be great. All the money goes to Save the Children. And, I'm looking around their website. Seems like a great cause. Seems like a great organization. So if you can help, then, definitely do so. So it says right here that, nearly 90% of every dollar goes straight to their mission, helping children grow up healthy, learning, and safe. So, who could want more than that? And, just to sweeten the deal for you, too, don't forget that we got all these
I guess, whoops.
I think
I was
we got cut off.
Got cut off? That's fine. I was just gonna say,